All right, time for us to talk Wednesday football with Owasso head football coach Bill Blankenship. It's already middle of the week, and it feels like fall outside, and it feels like going to week 8, but it still kind of surprises me from time to time. Got away in a hurry, didn't he, Coach?
Oh my gosh, it seems like every year we think it's just a slow grind, and then you blink a couple of times, and we're at the backstretch of this regular season. And you're absolutely right, going into week 8. But boy, I do love the weather right now.
I would imagine probably the way your team's playing as well. Another win over the weekend, 31-21 against Edmond Memorial, and another great game for Jaden Hall. This, by the way, is brought to you by Tulsa Accident Care Center. We'll talk more about them in a minute. Jaden Hall's now, I think, 8 games back at 117 plus yards. What is it that really flipped the switch with him, Bill?
Probably just getting the steady carries. For 3 or 4 years now, he's been in a rotation. We've been a abundance of riches, at the running back spot. Last year, they had a three-man rotation for 13 games. Chris Zafaris and Jason Mall, and Jason has transferred, and Chris is playing every snap at linebacker for us, and so we're not using him as much at running back. We're still using him when we need him, but so Jay is getting the bulk of our carries, and he is making it count. Just he's just that senior, Rick. That you think running back is not a high level position sometimes, and yet I think the nuances are there that a lot of people don't realize. The pass protection, the setting up of blocks, the waiting for blocks, the anticipation of where a hole might be. He gets all that now, whereas the last couple of years, maybe he was still in the learning phase.
Yeah, and repetitions do that. There's no question. But also some guys, and we've been around these guys, they get stronger as games go along. They get stronger as seasons go along, which is counterintuitive. But some guys thrive, like GJ Kinney when he's at Tulsa. Different
Yeah.
thing, he was a quarterback, but you had to get GJ hit or he wasn't going to play well. Some guys get into that and they really start to just get better. Is he one of those guys?
He seems to be, Rick. He seems to be a better second half, third quarter, late third, fourth quarter. Certainly the guy that you want the ball in his hands late in the game if it's close. He is hard to tackle. And so I think he's kind of embraced that version of himself as being a closer.
Yeah, and he's also a behind your pads guy, which,
Yeah.
for a lot of people don't understand that. It's pretty simple. Watch a guy who trucks somebody, he's probably running
Right.
behind his pads.
Right.
Who else played really well in that win?
Well, AJ Roberts wound up playing extremely well for us at corner. He graded out at a high level. He had to defend several passes, so you give him that. But he had a pick six in the third quarter that was huge, and then really had several tackles. He got tested many times and responded well. So off defensively, he's going to be our player of the week that we've talked through. But there are a lot of guys. The defensive front is continuing to play really well. Taj, Christian Turner, Ben Duggins, those three guys are becoming a problem for offenses, not just pass protection, but in their run blocking. And so they're just being able to create more chaos in the defensive line than we've had in a bit.
Block destruction. You're going to hear a lot about that kind of thing as we go forward in football. They had these terms come up, and what that basically means is whip the guy in front of you and move
Right.
on and
Exactly.
get him off somebody else. Linebackers can make plays and the likes. And in this time of the year, you're looking at a schedule down the stretch because you're unbeaten in district and you've played kind of the bulk of district, but you
Mhm.
have to stay sharp down the stretch against teams that literally on paper they're going to tell you you're better than. You have to
Mhm.
defeat that in practice. What do you do to go about that, Bill?
Well, we try to emphasize to our players, and I'll be happy to tell you, Rick, so far, knock on wood, these guys have been they bought into what we're talking about. We're not trying to play Edmond Santa Fe this week. We're not trying to compete against Westmore 2 weeks ago. We're not trying to focus on Edmond Memorial last week. While that it's a fact of that's our obstacle, that's the people we have to game plan against. Our challenge is to be a better Owasso Ram team. And that's not just coach speak. We're really trying to go at this, not like we're playing against a 1-16, but that we're actually playing to be the team we need to be week one in the playoffs. And so that's really the focus and the challenge. And for the most part, our players are buying into that
Or in other words, as Coach Saban says, the process. The
process.
process is to get
Absolutely.
better, no matter who's out there. And that 1-16 that you're about, you're going to go play, not coming up. I mean, that team's got a talented quarterback. He doesn't throw it great, but he's talented. He can get around. And the instant you go down a little bit against one of these guys, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Oh, 100%. He is a very big threat in the run game. They've got guys that are hard to block. They've got very talented
Yes.
players across in various places on that team that could start at a lot of our programs, even ours. And so you don't take that for granted at all. But they have struggled as a team this year in terms of getting the W's. And that's why it's important, honestly, for us not to focus on them as much as it is to make sure that we are doing everything we can do to be prepared and play at a high level.
Yeah, I want to ask a question about that in a minute. I want to first of all remind you this is brought to you by Tulsa Accident Care Center. Games have been changed, many of them, including this one, which we'll get to as well, to Thursday night because there might be some weather coming in. Actually, we pretty much sure there's some weather coming in on Friday. If during that time, what happens to my wife the other day happens to you and you happen to have your brakes go out, she did not crash into anyone. Thank you, dear. But if you do, that's what Tulsa Accident Care Center is for. Not for your car, it's for you. It's a same simple place for you to go one place and do everything you need. So you don't have to go to a doctor who sends you somewhere for blood work, who sends you somewhere for imaging, who sends you somewhere to get your prescription. Oh, and they, by the way, send you somewhere else for PT, 5 places. Nope, you do it all in one place at Tulsa Accident Care Center. You don't even have to have an appointment. There's no out of pocket cost. Walk in and say, car accident, here's what happened. And it all starts to happen from there. They're in Owasso, they're in Tulsa, they're in Broken Arrow. They're easy to find. And by the time you Google it, you already saved 4 other places. And then there you go. You get one place, you get it done. Don't want it to happen, but if it does, you call 888-8080, and that is Tulsa Accident Care Center. Interesting. I want to follow up on the film thing. You're talking about a team that's 1-6. How do you grade a guy when he's playing across from someone who he knows and are not quite as good as he is when he's played other guys who are, yet you want to dominate the guy. You still want to be able to do the film and say, yeah, you did really well, but here's what can be better. How do you go about that? That's a fine line.
Yeah, and so we really try to focus on two or three areas, Rick. One is assignment. Okay, did you get the right guy? Did you go to the right place? Are you in the right gap? Are you doing the job you were assigned? That's the assignment grade. Then there's a technique grade. And so the technique is, did I do it by stepping correctly? Did I do it, and these are ways, I might have done my job, but got a poor grade technique wise. Well, that's why they call us coach. That's why they give us the ability to work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with these guys to try to help them. Hey, step this way, keep your hand here, go here, focus on this, and maybe help him to do his job better next time. So, assignment, technique, and then the other one that's always big for me is just effort. And so we're going to grade your effort. Did you go to the whistle? Did we play that play as best we could? Because if we can get players starting with just playing as hard as they can, okay, if we can get that and we can get your assignment, all the rest of it is coachable. I mean,
Yeah.
we can get you to be better technician. We can get you to know how to at least hold up against a guy that's better physically than you.
Mhm.
But we've got to get you to A, know what to do on your assignment, and B, you just be willing to go. If you're going hard, then we can coach the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, you see on film that little tiny step that you talk about technique wise is going to be the difference against a Bixby, a Jinx, a Broken Arrow, a Union,
Right.
way more than it is going to be against the guy you just are better than. That's not
100%.
going to be the same against those guys. And it's one of the things when it pops in your head as a player, you're all in, right?
Yep.
Then you're paying attention. Then you see the growth. Then you see them get excited. And that just kind of becomes a big role, doesn't it?
Yep. Absolutely. We love that as coaches to be able to see that light bulb go on and you go, okay, now we got something because he actually is listening and applying.
Yep. All right. So moving to Thursday, because of the weather, it does cut you down by 1 day. You already had your practices and things kind of already in line, although we knew kind of early in the week. What all did it
Mhm.
change for you, Bill?
Well, we actually made the decision on Tuesday about noon. So we were prepped for another day of practice and then realized all of a sudden we're a day short, which helped me with my message to the players about the sense of urgency we always have to have. And this is one of those times that we're very fortunate to be ahead of the curve in terms of our game plan preparation. And so we don't get as much on the field prep, but it's going to matter how we do in terms of our walkthroughs and our meeting room and making sure that I go back to that assignment, making sure we know what to do. And we may not get quite as much work on the technique, but if we'll give good effort and travel well,
Mhm.
which is the whole idea of seeing this as a business trip, then I think things will go well.
Well, and the travel part, you got to move all that up too, which can be a
Yeah,
bit of a bigger hassle. That's when you don't want to be the quote unquote ops guy.
right. No
As
doubt.
we all know,
It's a
those are the
lot
jobs.
bigger deal. It's a lot bigger deal, Rick, than most general people think about. If we're going to uh, transport 100 something players and staff and all the equipment and all the sideline and have the buses and have them ready to go and all the food that we thought we were going to have for Friday now needs to be changed to make sure that's prepared for Thursday. And the breakfast that moms thought they were cooking on Friday for our
Right.
kids is
Yep.
now on. There's a lot of to this other than the guy deciding, oh, let's go play on Thursday and just beat the weather.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you,
yeah,
if you ever run into a college guy who's an ops guy, just ask him one question, and for the next 6 days, you're going to get stories.
exactly.
I can just tell you. All right, coach, we'll travel well. Stay ahead of that weather, and we'll talk next week.
Awesome. Thanks, Rick. Thank you, brother.